This is your Fire Sports Report from Southeastern University with your host, Donnie Smith.
Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of Fire Sports Report. I'm Donnie Smith. Southeastern men's basketball is the subject today. Coach Barsh, the head coach of the Southeastern Fire, they come in 3-0 to start the season. Preseason number 23 in the NAIA poll. Before you guys are even out on the floor, they've got you as one of the 25 best teams. Is that any extra pressure? Is it a really neat honor? How do you and your team feel about that?
I mean, it's kind of what we expect at this point. We've kind of solidified this program as a premier NAIA program in the country. So even if we lose players, they're expecting us to recruit well. Our school's got a great platform nationally, so we'll always be recognized in that venue. And just the respect that our guys have gone on, and some guys are playing pro that our program gets, we expect to be in that top 25, especially in that preseason poll.
You guys have won your first 3 contests of the regular season, had a 2-0 showing up in Georgia at the Point Tournament, also won your home opener against Trinity. I think the big theme in those 3 games, you guys have shot lights out.
When we built this team, it was kind of reminiscent of the teams that we lost to in Branson. We wanted to have a team of guys who could shoot the ball and put the ball on the floor. So after developing some of the guys on our roster, bringing Jake Hodges back, and having a point guard who can facilitate but also hit the three, I mean, guys are hitting open shots, and we've been taking shots all week, all summer. Guys know the confidence level of our shot makers is very high. I mean, I think Caleb right now is shooting, 11 for 14 from 3. As a team, I believe we're shooting over 50% from 3. Granted, it's only 3 games. But that's going to be one of our trademarks this year.
You know, Coach, you kind of mentioned the thought process in going through and putting this team together. Kind of give us an idea on the makeup of this team. You've got some upperclassmen, some transfers, some guys that you've had a chance to work with for a few years. What do you like best about this group?
The best thing I like about this group is the chemistry off the floor. These young men have all went through some type of adversity on a basketball team, either with ours last year or with their previous Division I institutions. So every single guy on our roster knows what it feels like to go through some losing, also knows what it feels like to win, and has made the commitment to be a teammate every single day, become better so we can have that chemistry off the floor. We've had success on the floor, but we've always came up a little short. And I think guys this year want to have no regrets. And so I think they're all in when it comes to being a better teammate in that chemistry aspect.
Really neat opportunity for you guys on Monday when you went up to Tallahassee. Second time in your career you've had a chance to play against Florida State and play against Coach Hamilton and his program. What do you guys take away from a game like that?
I mean, it's always fun to go out there and hang out with Coach Ham and Coach Jones. They're 2 guys who've been instrumental in my career, especially since I've been in Florida. They're Division I coaches that believe the same way we believe at Southeastern. So for our program to go up there and just associate with Florida State's a big deal. We really try to make that trip a proving ground for our team to go up there and to compete. And that's what we did. Growth for us was 2 years ago, we went up there. I believe the score was 21-0 to start the game. And clearly we did not deserve to be on that floor with them. This year we went out there and we competed for that first 10, 15 minutes. And then they were an ACC top 35 team and we were Southeastern. But our guys got better. You could tell through the course of the game, guys were engaged. That game, in a nutshell, is sometimes how your season goes. You'll have a lot of runs. You have times where other team will go on a run. I wanted to see if we will still be engaged, irregardless of the score, but also have the expectation to go in there and win. Our guys and our fans and our community should know this, that those young men were not scared at all. They really believed, and I think that's something we'll take away from that game.
Well, it's got to help. As you mentioned, you've got a couple of guys that have played Division I basketball before. They probably weren't too intimidated by their surroundings.
No, you got guys like Larry Taylor, who was one of the better point guards coming out of Florida when he was in high school, who is definitely a Division I player, but has chosen to focus on his life outside of basketball and made a decision to play here. You have guys like Elijah Ray, who from Indiana, who played at IUPUI. And then I think people forget guys like Jake Hodges and Caleb Konecki, who played in the Final Four. I mean, those type of experiences away from home in hostile environments give you the kind of moxie to play well in any type of arena. And then just other transfers like Linwood Ross, he was a Division I player. My younger brother Isaac played in the JUCO championship game. So they were not afraid of the lights. They kind of wanted the lights, which was encouraging to see as a coach.
You mentioned having Isaac on the roster this year. For you personally, how neat is it to coach your younger brother?
I think the coolest thing is where I come from, I mean, a lot of people don't make it out. And so for me to be able to sit in the living room with my parents and my mom and and tell her that I'm going to be taking care of her son, my little brother, for the next 2 years, is an experience that I wish every coach would be able to have, either coaching your son or coaching your brother, because you really want to be able to leave your mark with your family. And for my brother to be in this community, it means a lot, because I know he's being loved by the faculty, by the students, and beyond basketball, it's a beautiful thing to see.
Let's talk about some of the other players, Larry Taylor and Jake Hodges, who we'll have a chance to hear from in a moment. What have those two meant to your program the last couple of years?
Jake Hodges has meant a lot to our program. He's a guy that I met right when I got the job. I don't believe Jake realized how good a player he was when I got the coaching job here. I think he's slowly starting to realize he's one of the premier wings in the country, especially from Monday night's game. And what Jake's meant to our program is Jake has had hard times and he's had good times, but Jake's learned to be disciplined and he's learned to surround himself with the right people. And for our freshmen to see that, and for our community to show grace, and then see Jake have great opportunities to go on and play after Southeastern, I think is a beautiful thing. For me, being a coach and knowing I have Jake Hodges in the locker room, I'm okay, because I know he'll do what it needs to make sure that we're doing the right things. And then Larry Taylor, I mean, for a coach, a point guard's got to be the extension of the coaching staff. And I trust Larry Taylor, and that's the bottom line. I trust him. That's a young man that I know I'll be in contact with for the rest of my life, simply because of the relationship we have off the court. Frankly, I think he should shoot the ball a little more, but he likes to make his teammates happy, but we'll try to change that a little bit. If Larry Taylor is convinced that he can score as well as he can get other guys the ball, I think it'll be tough to beat.
All right, for more on Fire men's basketball, let's send it over to Sam Silver, who has Larry and Jake.
Thank you, Donnie. Again, I'm here with seniors Larry Taylor and Jake Hodges. So, Larry, what brought you to SEU?
I came from Bob Jones University my sophomore year. My freshman year, I was at Liberty University. But after coming from Bob Jones, I wanted to be closer to home because I'm from Englewood, Florida, and I wanted my family to be able to see me play basketball more. And Coach Barsh found out I was available, hit me up, and it was a connection right from the get-go. And so once I got to experience the atmosphere at SEU and see that this program had success, it was pretty much a done deal after that.
Jake, what about you?
I came from a junior college, Polk State, and really just the chance to play basketball again. I love the campus, the scenery here, and the facilities were super nice, and I didn't see any of that before at my community college, so that was a plus.
And so earlier this week, you guys had the chance to go play FSU, big D1 school. So what was that like, Jake?
It was a good experience. I played there 2 years ago, actually. So I just kind of wanted to redeem myself. I knew a couple players on the team. I knew they had some great guards coming in out of high school. They were top 100 guards. So I just wanted to prove myself and see if I could compete with them.
Yeah, I mean, as a team, we did well. It's always an honor to be able to play a program like that and be able to compete. And I thought that we got better as a team. And, it's something that we're going to get to, remember for the rest of our lives. And, we did well. We were out there, and, it looked like we were supposed to be out there. And, yeah.
Yeah, good for you guys. So, Larry, you played D1 before coming here. So what has the difference been like going from D1 to NAIA?
The main difference is the speed of the game, and then also just the size and length of the players. I mean, honestly, like with our team, like we have so much skill that if like dudes were just a little bit bigger, like they could play D1. And also like the speed of the game is a lot quicker at Division I level. But as far as the conference goes, the Sun Conference is tough for basketball. And from what I've seen, there's, like Coach Barsh said earlier, there's a lot of Division I players in this conference. But at the end of the day, the main difference is just the speed and the size.
Awesome. And Jake, I'll start with you. What do you like most about Coach Barsh as a coach?
I just love that he cares so much about each individual player. I played for teams where they only want you to, if you win, you're cool with them. But if you're not winning, you're not succeeding on the court, they don't have too much of a relationship with you. That's my favorite thing.
Larry, what are your thoughts?
My favorite thing is that he never wants any of us to be comfortable. Like he always wants us to keep growing and keep learning. And that's the thing. When you get comfortable, you start to think that you got it all figured out. And he understands that being uncomfortable is something that allows you to grow, to keep getting better every day. And that's what Coach Barsh is all about, and it's what he's proven to be about. And he's probably one of the best coaches I've ever played for.
And you guys are already off to a really good start. And so what are your expectations you have for the rest of the season?
I mean, obviously, like to win a conference championship and to go to national, go to Branson, it's something I haven't experienced yet. I know Jake has. Jake did work in the national tournament 2 years ago, but I want to be able to experience that and get as far as we can as a team, because we have the keys, we have the parts to do it, and this team's something special.
Jake, I'm sure you want to return to that Final Four.
Yeah, but more importantly, I just want to get a conference championship, like Larry said, because that's what we need to do first in order to get to Branson.
And what is your favorite part about being here at Southeastern? Jake?
My favorite part is, there's just so much love on campus. Everyone is smiling. Everyone seems to be happy. There's not too much negativity around campus.
Larry?
I would say that it's just very close-knit. It's not too big of a school, and I feel like I kind of know pretty much everybody that I see throughout the day when I'm walking around, and also just you can tell the staff here, the coaches have a heart for Jesus. They have a heart for seeing their players grow and their students grow, and that's something that you don't find in many schools.
Yeah, that's so true. All right, well, good luck to you guys with the rest of your season, and we're going to send it back to Donnie for more with Coach Barsh.
Coach R-Jay Barsh, the men's basketball coach at Southeastern University, joining us here on Fire Sports Report. Looking ahead at your next couple of games this weekend, you're going to be taking on the South Coast Fire as well as Johnson University. Give us an idea on your next two opponents, Coach.
South Coast Fire is a ABA team. They got players from all over the state of Florida. They actually will be had a couple guys get drafted into the D League last week, and so they'll be missing a couple key guys. But the reason we play South Coast Fire is because their head coach, Coach Pons, is a close friend of mine. And what I try to establish for my players is an opportunity to play beyond college. And so for Coach Pond to be in our gym and to see our team play and create that relationship, it really helps our players continue their success after Southeastern. It is an exhibition game for us. It is our last exhibition game. I like to do that the same week of Florida State just so we can fix some of the things that we needed to work on and still not take that L on our schedule.
Looking ahead at some of the other games that you have here in the first semester as part of non-conference play, a couple that are really jumping off the page, at least at me. You've got the number 4 team in the country coming in the preseason poll. The tournament in Texas, I think, will be really neat, and also the Thanksgiving tournament in Tennessee.
I mean, all those tournaments, we were invited to those tournaments because teams want to see our style of play. We're very aggressive. We have dynamic scores, and defensively, we really get inside people. And as a coach, last year we were a game away from making the national tournament. And I think a lot of that had to go with our scheduling. And so this year what I decided to do was make sure that teams across the country were able to see what style of play that we were. And playing against St. Francis at home is a huge game. I mean, you'll have 2 top 25 teams playing in December in Lakeland, Florida. That's going to be a big-time game, maybe one of the biggest games we've had here. That's a non-league game. And then going down to Sagu and playing in the AG Classic will be really good, playing 2 NAI D1 teams. I got great relationships with the coaches out there, so it's going to be a fun trip for our team.
Then looking ahead to second semester, obviously Sun Conference play comes into focus. Even with Embry-Riddle no longer in the league and Hall of Fame coach Steve Ritter moving on, this is still going to be a tough league to go through.
I mean, yeah, our league is known for the Division I dropback. So every single team, at least the top 3 or 4 teams are going to have guys that can score. They're going to play hard, and Coach Gell at St. Thomas has consistently proved to be one of the top coaches in the country because his teams play hard. So guys on our roster know that there's no games in the Sun Conference where you can take a night off, which we wish there were. It'd be nice. But when you have the athleticism in Florida, you go recruit a couple shooters, and it's anybody's game every night.
Once you got a taste of the national tournament in Branson, obviously the focus every year is to make it back. What's it going to take to make it back?
We need to stay injury-free. I think this team is built on not just having one player be the guy who runs the show. And so it's always going to be next man up. And so if guys are able to encourage others' success, I think we will have a great year, and I think we'll have an opportunity to be playing for something special in March.
Final question for you, Coach. What's your favorite part about coaching at Southeastern University?
My favorite part about coaching at Southeastern University is I don't just coach men's basketball. I find myself coaching all the students in our population, our community here. Just being called coach when you're in Chartwells or when you're walking down El Prado, being able to sit down with students. At the age of 32, that's just a unique opportunity and experience. And I think that's what I wake up excited about every single day, because I wake up with the same zeal and intensity that I do during the season that I do during the off season. And so for me, every day is a game day because you could speak life into young people.
Coach R-Jay Barsh is the head coach of the Southeastern University Fire, 3-0 on the season, ranked 23rd in the NAIA Top 25. 2 games this week as they host the South Coast Fire on Thursday and also Johnson University on Saturday. That'll do it for this week's edition of Fire Sports Report. I'm Donnie Smith. Have a great day.